Hey folks, welcome back to our videos. In this video I want to jump right into working with the sub-menu. Just a couple of advanced updates that you can make. If you go to your site, your styles and your styles.css and scroll on down until you find the drop menu sublevel, right in this section here is where you're going to find all the details for modifying the background, the fonts, the hover colors, all that sort of a thing. So we've started off with the top menu or the main menu button right up here. This is all the information you would modify. Starting off with the font size, color, and that. Once you get in here, this is, like I said, it's a little bit more on the advanced side. Understanding how to update CSS in a style sheet is kind of a good thing to know ahead of time. But just as a quick refresher, if you haven't done this before, you can modify any of the properties you see here. For example, font size, simply by sort of double clicking on the existing property like the 14px, and you can just sort of use the backspace key until you get to the font size. You can hold the Shift:" key down, and then you can go and select a new number or type it in manually. But let's say, for example, 18px. Same with the color. Double click on whatever value is in there. Backspace, 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 right up until you get your cursor nudged up against the final letter in whatever property is you're trying to modify, and then you just use the shortcut, which is the Shift:" key, and that will activate the shortcut tools. For example, because you're working with a color, you can now use the color picker tool, and that'll save you having to figure out what hex color to use, because you can actually use that color picker tool to go and create your own color or use the pre-existing colors that are provided. Same with the font family and all the way down. Backspace whatever, or sort of remove whatever you have here, hit the backspace, and that's sort of a property. So that deals with the drop down menu, and you can change basically all your properties right here. You can even nudge down just a little bit and you got a font hover property down here, and then you can get right into the background color and background image if you want to use a background image. Oftentimes we'll use a drop down menu background image because we want to add a little bit of a grit or gradient or style to it, as opposed to just a solid color, which could be a little bit on the boring side. It really depends on the template though. We may use something just a solid color, we may use a background image, but this is where you would locate that property and change it, right? Simply by, there you go. You can now load in a different image by using the URL tool, or you can actually just change it over to a color. There we go. Let's use green. Let's just save it and preview it in a browser just to see what difference that makes. All right, there's our sliders. There's the green background right there. Alrighty. So back to Dreamweaver. This is the section where you can go and make your changes, and you'll see that everything is commented. Right? We've tried to do a fairly good job on commenting it, although I would definitely put this in the classification of more advanced. So if you're a brand new user to Dreamweaver or building websites, or you've never worked in the style sheet before, probably a good idea to go to the Dreamweaver help system and just learn a little bit about how to work with styles. But hopefully with just some of these shortcuts that I've shown you in the video, you can sort of muddle your way through making the updates and the changes that you would need just by using the sort of trick of backspacing out and activating whatever shortcut tool is available for that particular property.